Hello out there in the world. Hey, good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. I hope you're doing well today. We are late like we were yesterday, except today was kind of weird. I was trying to get um, translation, the closed caption working on the video from yesterday. Not much luck. It's just not. So I had to do all kinds of other things. And I get a cat trying to jump on the screen. The other cat likes to walk on the computer. Anyway, this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I'm Greg Mester, Agile Coach. I just hit the microphone, and this is live, totally off keel today. It's 8:06, and not normally during the 5 a.m. However, I've been up since 3:30 this morning, just doing stuff, catching up on things, and we talk about Agile and Scrum in a tactical and practical way, so you can get home to your family and friends. Finally, got all the kids off, wife's out the door, you know. Got to get ready for work. But I wanted to do a show because we've been doing it consistently. This is our 227th episode, so I didn't want to lose that. We're still on that mark, and I have my content from yesterday that we skipped because of the coronavirus stuff. So the two things I want to talk about today. One is about hiring people. Talk about that again, and it's not always the correct solution. We'll talk about that, and then cognitive dissonance. So that, and we'll talk about that. And that's where you say one thing and do another that are opposite of what you said you wanted to do. And I get glitches on the YouTube. I don't know. YouTube ain't doing too well to me for me this past week. So, all right. Hiring people. Why that isn't always the best solution. So let's say you got to understand your limitations, right? Let's say you got a group that's got like, and I know this is not the pure Scrum mix, and everybody's being cross-trained. You got to all do that, and sometimes you have it, and sometimes you don't. I would love to have all cross-trained people. I would just love it to death. I would love the people to be able to test things and do different things and do some exploratory testing as well as write code. Personally, I think if you do automation coding, you can probably write some code too. But let's say you have 5 dev people and 2 testers, and you're like, hey, I want to get another tester in there, but you only have like one iPhone to test with, or one computer or tablet or whatever that you want to test the software on. Does it really make sense to get a third tester just to balance out the numbers, but your hardware, you don't have enough hardware to run the test? So you can hire all the testers you want, but if you only have one computer to run the test on, it doesn't really get you anything. So we as Scrum Masters and Agile coaches need to work, and managers especially, need to work to get the equipment, because getting additional people, like, let's hire more people. Well, if you don't have the hardware to test on or the setup, but there are virtual simulations that you could do and install that in your systems to simulate the different hardware. But in the end, you're probably going to want to use some hardware for final checkout to make sure it really does look exactly what the way you want. However, again, this is where the answer of just hiring people but not understanding the equipment and the products you have for them to use will just make it worse. So it'll make it where people just bang into each other. I got to wait because I don't have access to the hardware or the software to test what I got. So just think about that. I always thought about that when they bought requirements control document systems, right? And I'd be like, you bought this system. It's a real great system. However, you only bought 10 copies that share the requirements, 10 licenses. We have 100 developers or 100 engineers, and you bought 10 licenses. So they're going to download the information, put it on a spreadsheet, which now is not controlled. Kind of defeats the purpose of buying software in the first place, right? So same goes to people. If you're only going to have one test up, it doesn't make sense to hire 10 people to do your testing. It's just not going to get on the equipment. So I wanted to share that because I've seen it many times. So that was one item. Cognitive dissonance. And why am I bringing it? It's a big word. I don't usually use big words, but someone mentioned that to me because I was coaching someone the other day. We were having a conversation. In the middle of the conversation, and this is where you see this. You got businesses that say they want to grow and they want to grow 50% of their business over the next year. Okay, great. So what are you going to do differently to maintain that 50% or to grow that 50%? Oh, we're going to build new software. We're going to do all this. Well, do you have the tools in place? Are you giving your team time to get better or put new tools in place, new practices to allow them to produce more code? If the answer is no, how are you going to get there, right? I mean, was at a conference a while ago, and I think I mentioned where the business side, hey, we want to grow by 50%. And I look at them, said, so are you going to automate all your test sequences? Because you ain't going to be able to keep up to 50% growth in new capability. That ain't going to happen, right? Or even just new customers, and maybe you do a manual scrub of the customer data. You need to automate that stuff, because if you're growing 50%, you're keeping a rate of scrubbing your data at this rate, and then they add 50% more customers. You ain't going to be able to work what you do now at the same rate. You're going to have to find a way to automate that to get there. Your managers have to give you time to learn how to automate that software, spend some value in that so they can take on 50% more customers. I mean, the worst case is you get 50% more customers and you can't handle it. That would be terrible, right? So you need to get there with that plan. And I thought it was interesting, and I mentioned it during my discussion, where one minute they said they want to improve the process. Next minute, but I don't want to give you time to do Agile and do new techniques to get it improved. That's cognitive dissonance. That's where you say one thing and your actions mean you can't do that thing, right? I looked it up, try to find some answers for everybody. Well, how do you fight that? There really isn't anything out there, and they all say there's really nothing. So my only thing that I found that helps with that issue, where someone says one thing and does another, that are counterintuitive, or the cognizant dissonance, yeah. Powerful questions. What I found is when they start doing that, you need to start picking one of those sides. Can't do both, because they'll just keep constantly but pick one. Says, hey, you want to growth. Well, how do you want to get there? Right? You know their actions are opposite of what they want to do. So then you start asking those powerful questions. So what is your plan to get there? What is blocking you from getting there? Let's talk about those things. Can you break down your top 5 blockers that are preventing? Let's go into them. Why is that blocking you? What's presenting that? What have you done to remove that blocker? Right? So start getting those powerful questions to address when you start hearing the cognizant dissonance of people saying one thing and doing another one. It's time to use those powerful questions to probe and get them to think. It's the only way you're going to get around it. I mean, you can call it on them. You can say, wait, you just said, let's go back to what you just said, because what you said were 2 different things. You said this and you're doing this. So you have to go back. You said that the other day. How are you getting there? Because they just said the opposite, but that's where the powerful questions come in. So the only solution I can think of right now is use powerful questions to break that. With that, that's what we got for today on this Thursday. And sorry we're late, just off today, but I did want to do the show and share that information and prep for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Fortune Cookie Friday. Hope you get a chance to listen. And with that, you all take care. Ring the little bell so you get the notices when we put some content up there. I did put that little TikTok episode up the other day. Eddie's TikTok with the Mentos is still kicking off the roof. I don't know. We're gonna do more TikTok. That's clickbait, right? But we'll do another one. We're designing one out, and we're hopefully do that this weekend, because people like it and it's fun. And you gotta have fun, right? If you're not having fun in life, it's not worth it. Anyway, have a great day. Happy scrumming. Enjoy, and you all take care. Bye. See ya.